Hey everybody, welcome to the pre-show for another live stream. This is interesting because I've never really done anything like this before, but Dana, as you know, and for anybody who, I think everybody who's watching right now or who's in the live chat knows what the deal is, but for anybody who's seeing this and doesn't know, Dana Cole, of course, is one of my longtime, dearest, most treasured friends, and she is in a live community theater production of A Little Princess, and she's playing Miss Minchin, and tonight is their final performance, and the theater is live streaming the show tonight. The show starts at 7:30, but the live stream is going to start at 7:20. So this is at Dana's request, a pre-show for the live stream of the play. And so hopefully everybody who's watching me right now and everybody who comes in the next 20 minutes or so, we're all going to, at around 7:20 or 20 after the hour, wherever you happen to be, whatever time zone, around 20 after the hour, we're all going to jump from this stream over to the A Little Princess stream and watch that. It is linked in the description of this video. We're gonna watch. So I tried to post the link to it in the chat earlier, and it wouldn't let me. And it wouldn't let me. There we go. It wouldn't let me post it for some reason. So the link is in the video description, and hopefully if you don't have it open in another tab already, you will be able to do that. And around, like I say, around 20 after the hour, we'll jump over and I'll end this stream and we can watch that. So very exciting. I have been helping Dana run lines here and there for the last couple of months, really, because they've been in rehearsal for a while. But I have not actually had a chance to see the show because she's down in Georgia and I'm here in Maryland, and this is the only show that is actually being live streamed. And also, I've never read the book. Like, I've never read A Little Princess, and I've never seen any of the. I know there was a movie of it made in the 90s that got pretty good reviews at the time. That I didn't watch, and I've never seen any of the, like, I see 0626 in the chat. Has I mentioned that there was a 1986 production that I haven't seen. So, but this will be interesting for me. This is the script that they're using is an original adaptation because, of course, the work itself, the source material is public domain. And some random geek could post the link. That's interesting. It wouldn't let me post the link, but I'll post the link again a little bit later when it's almost time to. For us to go. Yeah, and CLO60, maybe it didn't want to post because the stream had actually started. Let me try to post it again and see if it, I mean, the link would post, but when you clicked on it, it didn't take you anywhere. That was the problem. That was the problem there, is that it didn't actually want to go anywhere. And see, it's still giving me the same problem. I click on some random geeks link and it won't go anywhere. Like, it takes me to there's like a problem page, which I don't know. But anyway, I'll post it in the chat before when we get closer to time to jump over. And also, it is in the video description. So if you haven't gotten it yet, it's there. But anyway, before that time comes, I'm not going to spend the whole 20 minutes just yammering. And I wonder why it doesn't work for me. I feel left out now that the link doesn't work for me. So. I'm going to go ahead and post it in the chat in a pinned chat message, so that I'm glad it works for everybody else. So, some random geek, thanks for posting, and I'm going to post it in a pinned message in the chat so that everybody can see it at the top. As long as it works for everybody else, it didn't work for me for some reason. But anyway, so hey, Andrew's here. The recently the recently unblocked Andrew. Awesome. And so before we get to showtime, I thought it would be cool to go through First, I want to do a couple of things. First, I want to talk about the cast in the play, other than Dana, of course. And to do that, I'm going to go over to the Back Alley Productions bio page. There we go. For A Little Princess. This is the cast and crew of The Little Princess, and as you can see, the director is Crystal Dawson, and Dana, of course, is playing Miss Minchin, which is the main draw for me. But I wanted to highlight the other members of the cast as well. Bailey Lively playing Lavinia, Lucy Self playing Jessie, and also Anne. Sophie Self playing the role of Lottie. Simon Oliver Parker playing Atchit Meat, the monkey, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. Karen Parker playing Mrs. Biddle. Cody Robinson Steele playing Ram Dass. Jana Franks playing Sarah Crew, the main character. Holly Shively playing Miss Amelia. Sally St. Hill playing Joan and Madame Defarge. Tyler Slusher playing Captain Crew and also Mr. Barrow. Gavin Russell playing Mr. Carrisford. And those of you who don't know, last year Dana appeared in a production of 1984 by this same theater group, where she played Syme, and Gavin Russell was the director of that production of 1984. So that's pretty cool. Adele Chandler as Ermengarde, and Zoe Festerman playing Becky. And there's also a note here. I want to make sure that tonight Zoe Festerman is playing Becky, but for the first weekend that the show was running, Becky was actually played by Mia Fansler, and I want to acknowledge her and her contribution to this production as well. So I also want to point another thing out, which is that if you go to the Back Alley Productions website, which is bapshows.com or bapshows.com, and here I'll take you over to it again. This is the front page, and of course, A Little Princess is featured prominently. And if you scroll down a little bit, scroll down almost to the bottom, right underneath the menu buttons for Listen Now, Watch Now, and Remember Now, you see this button that says Be a Hero, and you click that, and it takes you to the PayPal page for Back Alley Productions. So if you watch the show tonight, and the live stream is being made available publicly for free, you don't have to buy a ticket. But if you watch the show tonight and you enjoy it, you think it was worth your time, and of course, if you can afford it and it's not going to take food off your table or make you any kind of difficulty, I would recommend and highly suggest that you go to the Back Alley Productions page here, bapshows.com, and click on the Be a Hero button and just make a small donation to the theater through PayPal. It could be just a couple of bucks. It could be as much as you think you're comfortable donating, as much as you can afford. But I think that would be really cool if you made if you're able to, if you made a donation to the theater, because this is their first show back since shutting down because of COVID, or their first show with an audience. Because as I said, last year they did a production of 1984 that was all live streams, and they were ticketed live streams. Like you had to pay to watch it. They've actually been able to have a limited audience in the theater. It hasn't been filled up to capacity. They have to do limited seating, but the limited seating has sold out, I think, for all of the shows, including tonight. But still, it's a local community theater, and I'm sure they could use all the help they can get. So if you enjoy the live stream tonight, please, if you're able to, go to the website, click the Be a Hero button, and donate to support Back Alley Productions. I think that would be really, really cool. So now I kind of raced through that, and now that's all of my quote unquote prepared material. So yeah, so let's just hang out for the next 10 minutes or so until it's time to jump over and get ready for the show. Let's see what people are talking about in the chat. Yes, BAP. I know, right? The BAP. I'm sure there were giggles and chuckles aplenty when they reserved that website address. Yeah, Andrew, I was kind of hoping Sarah would be able to be here too, because I know her and Dana get along really well, and because this has been a very big part of Dana's life for the past few months, and she's had a really good time doing this show. And I think she had a really good show last night. I think her parents were able to come and see the performance, and that was really cool for her. And apparently the audience was really responsive last night too. They really enjoyed the show, so that was really cool to hear. And yes, Some Random Geek, it was recently your birthday, and you're 37. And all I can say is it's not that I'm sitting on 41, so 37 doesn't sound that bad to me. But yeah. Yeah, there are CLO 626. There are a couple of local theater companies around here that are starting to ramp back up now. Now that a lot of people have been vaccinated and the COVID restrictions have been loosened, so hopefully, I don't think any of the local theater companies in my area actually went out of business because of COVID. I think they all survived. And Back Alley Productions down in Lafayette, Georgia, which is doing this production that we're going to watch tonight, has survived. But I imagine that is not the case for a lot of local theater companies, that they couldn't afford to keep going if they weren't doing shows and selling tickets and stuff. So hopefully there are a lot of people around the country who have previously been involved in community theater that are looking forward to getting back into it. So these local community theater groups can continue to put on shows and thrive. Throughout the Trekkie, my birthday is May the 5th. May the 5th. Radical Bacon wants to know, what do you do to prepare for the Ensign's log? I prepare very little. I usually don't even know what we're going to do until we start talking about it, like right when we're about to record. What usually happens is the three of us are on a Skype call, and we chat for a while and just kind of hang out and, ask how everybody's doing and catch everybody else up on what's been going on with us. And then Jason says, okay, so today, and then he tells us basically what the plot of the show is going to be, or what we want to have accomplished during the episode. And I usually don't have too many questions. I just say, okay, sounds good. So you want me to do this and this, I don't really prepare anything. Dana is much more meticulous than I am, and has a lot more questions than I do, and likes to have a lot more things sort of lined up and specifically in place. But even that's still like right before we record. Like there's the pre-show preparation doesn't really amount to much for either one of us. The prep is Jason. He's the one who, comes up with what the premise is going to be that week. And if there are parts that need to be pre-written, he takes care of that. And of course, he does all the post work as well. But the preparation really for me isn't very much at all. Like at this point, I know my character. I know the show that we're sort of riffing on. I know now we're into TNG, so I know that. But I don't really need to have a lot of things sort of in place for me to do it. Like if Jason, if we weren't doing this right now, if I didn't have a previous engagement, and Jason, called me or something and said, hey, you want to record something for the Ensign's log tonight? Like I would be able to do it like right now. Like I feel like I could do Ensign Johnson's character, like, on a moment's notice. And my improv rapport with Jason and with Dana is strong enough, and we, get each other enough that I feel like we could just come up with something on the spur of the moment, and it would probably at least not be bad. It might not be fantastic, but it would at least not be bad. CLO 626. I'm looking forward to that as much as I have been looking forward to anything we've ever done on the Ensign's log, because we have been planning that, what you're talking about, literally for years. We came up with that as the ultimate end game for Baby back in the first season. So now we're approaching that moment, and I really hope that it plays the way we want it to play, because yeah, you're right. Hopefully, yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, but hopefully it's also, at least the show around it is also still going to be funny. You know, I mean, the actual moment that we're building up to is not going to be funny, but the journey to that will hopefully be enjoyable. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's weird that, like, I was listening to our new show earlier today, our new episode of the Ensign's Log that dropped yesterday, and there's the bit where Jason is, I haven't come in yet, and Jason is talking to Dana, and he's saying about how, like, my character was so upset after talking to his mother for the first time in a long time that I crawled under my bed and I wouldn't eat, and Jason had to stuff food under the bed, which I didn't eat, but he was stuffing food under the bed for me so I would have something to eat if I wanted. And I realized, like, wow, like, I have become such a cartoon character. Like, Ensign Johnson is such a cartoon character, but at the same time, I feel like we and all of our characters have that sort of cartoony element, but I feel like we have left them realistic enough that there's still enough of a kernel of humanity and truth to them that if we do go serious with it, that will still play and it will still come across. So that is really fun to do, to take, you know, because we've done that once or twice where we've gotten a little bit serious with it, and that, as an actor, as a performer, that's a lot of fun to do, to take like a fundamentally goofy, silly, comedic character, and then you reach a moment where you play it straight, and hopefully that plays as something that the audience responds to and cares about in the way you want them to. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. CLO6, I find myself wanting some sort of miraculous escape, but I don't know if that would undermine the impact of the carefully constructed and inevitably built up tragedy. Yeah, I would not. I mean, like, it's entirely possible that when we get closer to that episode, that Jason will say, "Hey, I got an idea," and we'll do something other than what I'm expecting. But I would not bet on it. I think it's probably going to go pretty much how you expect it to go, and yeah, so. Yeah, Radical Bacon, that's a good point. It does seem like there are more comedians. There are more good comic actors. Oh, hey, Matthew, glad you could make it. It does seem like there are more good comic actors who also excel as dramatic actors than there are good dramatic actors that excel as comic actors. It does seem like it's not entirely a one-way street, but it's more one way than the other for sure. Uh, Yeah, yeah. Blackadder Goes Forth is a great example. Like, super, super dark, serious ending for an incredibly silly and really funny show. Yeah, that's. But I mean, you know, it's sort of like you would almost be not doing justice to World War I if you ended it any other way. You know, um, even if you're doing a comedy about it, like, if you don't leave people with a sense of the tragedy of it, then, you know. Um, so we're about 2 minutes to go before it is time to jump over to the Little Princess stream. So the link is in my pinned message in the chat window, and is also in the video description. So in a couple of minutes, when I end this stream, we're all going to jump over to the A Little Princess stream, and they have a live chat there too, so we can keep, you know, chatting with each other and stuff. But that's going to be pretty cool. We're gonna get to see Dana play Miss Minchin in this production of A Little Princess by Back Alley Productions. And just a reminder, if you yeah, just random geek, yeah, get your drinks and snacks. And just a reminder, and I imagine they'll probably have something about it on their actual live stream as well. But just in case they don't. After the show is over, or even during the show, whatever is good for you, if you would consider going to the Back Alley Productions website, which is bapshows.com, and near the bottom of their main page, there's the Be a Hero button that allows you to click on that and donate to the theater through PayPal. And if you enjoy the show tonight and you can afford it, and you would like to support the theater by making a small donation to help them continue to put on shows, especially as they're starting to come out of COVID restrictions, I think that would be fantastic. So yeah, that's really about all I have. We're coming up on 7:20, so I'm going to bring this to a close, and let's all go over to the Little Princess stream and get ready to watch the show, which their stream should be starting pretty soon, and the live stream, the actual show, curtain goes up at 7:30. So see everybody over there. Thanks for hanging out with me on the pre-show for a couple minutes, everybody. See you over on the Little Princess stream momentarily.